So it's a nice rainy day here in Daejeon, and I've been thinking. Uh, I think I finally figured out on a top level why it is that being here has not worked out for me. And it's fundamentally, I'm just really not supposed to be here. I've been going out a lot with my coworkers, the other foreign teachers, and they go out a lot. And they're going out, 3 or 4 nights a week. Going to places, spending as much, more money than I do in a day at one sitting, doing that several times a week. They're going on like day and weekend trips several times a month, just spending lots and lots of money, spending all the money they make and more besides. And, it finally settled in as I've spent more time kind of speaking with them and kind of assessing just the way that they've lived since they've been here. I mean, at a very fundamental level, they're dilettantes. Their approach to being here is that this is like a really long, really, really long extended vacation. And they're kind of approaching this as tourists, and they're going to be here a year and they want to get the most out of it. All right. And the money doesn't matter. They're going to spend all of it because this is fundamentally just about having experiences for them. And this is something I should have known about, because when I was dealing with like the agencies when this started, they kept telling me, "Oh, don't mention you want to travel. Don't mention you want to travel. I know you want to, but don't say it." And that was weird to me, because that is not why I came here. I came here to work. This is my life. But what I've realized is most of the people I'm working with, that's not the case. These are people who view this as just sort of a chance to get experiences before their real life starts, or in between something else. It's a gap year thing. It's an adventure of a lifetime thing, just like it was when I first went to China way back in 2008. Now, this is a very different experience for me, because the people I work with in China were not like this. They were lifers. You were not getting people over there in like 2018, 2019. You were not getting people who were just going over because they wanted to, have fun in another country. You didn't get people who were going over because they wanted to like impress their friends back home with all the pictures they were going to put on their various profiles. You just did not see that. These were people, I was over there 4 years and was anticipating being over there longer, but many of them, people over there have been over there 10 years. And that was their life. But it's just so different. Over here, nobody is staying at these places. You're coming over a year. Many people have just explicitly said that. They say, I'm here for a year, and then that's it. Maybe not even that long. And again, it's a lot of little things that began to click together for me about this. Like one of them was, one of the many edicts my horrible employer passed is you're not supposed to sit down ever during a class. So 5 hours on your feet, no sitting down. Ridiculous thing to make people do because it's unnecessary. But what I kind of thought about that is, well, what about older teachers? Because it's uncomfortable for me to have to stand for 5 hours. It's uncomfortable for anyone to have to stand for 5 hours. But I knew people, back in China, the older people who physically could not do that, who could not stand for 1 hour without sitting down. And then as I thought about that today, it hit me. There are no older teachers here. I believe that in my office, foreign teachers, I'm the oldest one. These are people in their 20s who, like I said, these are people, they're doing the gap year, the adventure of a lifetime thing. This is just a momentary change from the ordinary so that they can have experiences and become interesting. Very important for Americans to feel like we're interesting. And, for most of them, once this is done, there'll be a story they tell for a few years, and then they'll just move on. And that's not it for me. This is not a divergence before my real life starts. This is my life. But the place I work, it is not designed for that. This company churns employees. That's the reason they have this paint-by-numbers curriculum where you're supposed to do everything exactly like this, because they are working with people who are 22, 23, 24, 25 years old, who have no teaching experience, who have no relevant training, and they just need them to follow the rules exactly. I'm not supposed to be here. This entire system is not designed for me. It is designed for maybe me 15 years ago, maybe me in 2008, but it's not designed for me now. This is designed for people who are going to come here. They're going to stay 12 months. They're going to travel a lot. They're going to go to interesting like restaurants and take lots of pictures and maybe have a local girlfriend for a while. And then they're going to go home and it's all just going to be a memory. And that's not me. And because it's not me, this is never going to work out. Like coming over here was a huge mistake. I hadn't even thought about it. I was talking to some of the coworkers about like all the churn at these places, and one of them said, "Oh, well, as big as K-pop is right now, they probably got tons of people wanting to come over here." And as petty as that sounds, it's probably true. How many people in the U.S. think of themselves as being big fans of Korean culture because they like BTS or Blackpink or New Jeans? I don't even know if New Jeans is big in the U.S., but they are here. My point is, Korean culture is very popular right now in the West. And because of that, there are probably a lot of people who want to come over here and experience this briefly. And because of this, they can afford to have this churn. They can afford to have these people coming and going. But this is not a system designed for me. I have met one person who has been here more than a few years. And that's insane. And the issue is, no matter what, even if I somehow, against all odds, managed to work everything out with the day-to-day nonsense I've been dealing with and all the problems I have, fact remains, this entire setup is not designed for me. It's not designed for me right now. It was designed for me when I was 22 years old. It is not designed for me right now. And I don't think that's something I can so easily cope with.